blank fire. Raw's been waiting long enough. It's time to get real. The questions may get a little hard, but that's to be expected on the experience with Rod. Let's roll. Have a seat, kick off your shoes. Rod only brings you the best. He's gonna stand on what he says, even if there's a little mess. People are sensitive nowadays, but he'll hold their hand. He'll pull them back up if they start sinking in the sand. Real talk in his chest, real talk in the air. He don't bend for the room, but the questions stay fair. The experience with a Rod. He stand on what he say and he bring you the best. The experience with a Rod. The experience with a Rod. Not soft, not fake, just the best. That brother be coming hard. He studied the guest and went back a few years, but he'll do all he can to avoid the shedding of tears. He dug a little bit, he may make you reminisce, but it's all love again and experience. The questions come swift, the brother has a gift. Laughter in the air, some squirm in the chair. Don't shed a tear, although you may want to. Just look up at the screen because you know Rod got you. Don't sit around and wait, every question gotta wait. Ask your questions early before it gets too late. Big experience with a Rod. He stand on what he say and he bring you the best. The experience with a Rod. The experience with a Rod. Not soft, not fake, just the best.
What it do, man? Oh man, boy, your boy's excited. I've been grinding all day, man, getting ready for this interview. And I can tell you, man, let me get my trusty iPad. Welcome to Points Blank Experience and the Experience with Rod. We're kind of shifting these from an interview to a conversation. You know, a lot of times when I say I'm gonna interview somebody, you know, it's just like a question and answer, and it's gonna be still there, but we need to get opinions, and we need to get opinions from the guests and opinions from the guests in the comments, the guests on the stage with me. And then I'm just facilitating this thing. But this brother that we have coming to the stage tonight, he's definitely been on YouTube longer than I have, probably longer than anyone in this live. He's been on YouTube since 2005, not 2015, not 2025, 2005. But this channel that he has today, Jim Longfoot, he created in 2011, and he has over 5,300 videos and over 7,500 subscribers. Now, when I look at his videos, and when y'all go there, you're going to see a brother. He's not doing this for clout. He's doing it from the heart. He cares. He cares about the people. We're going to talk about some other things that he cares about once we bring him on the screen. And after all that time, I can't wait to get him up here. It's not going to be my first question, but I can't wait to see what made him become a YouTuber and start a YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let me see who we got in this joint before I bring him up so I can say hi to everyone. I see we got GOAT1408 That is our special guest, Slim Jim Longfoot. We got Toya Renee Talks. Hey, how you doing? We got Jerry Allen. We got my co-host Just Asking for a Friend. We got Cedra, man. She said, oh, sniggity snap, it's on now. Let's go, Rod and Slim Jim Longfoot. And yo, I love it because my co-host Keisha always makes sure she speak to everybody that come in here. Man, my little thing is moving kind of freaky tonight. And look at this. How are y'all doing? That's what I'm doing. Fine. All right. Let's make sure we got Cheryl Bubbles, Miss Cheryl in the crib. And without any further ado, we got Dolores in the house. And I think we got everybody, man. Without any further ado, let me bring the guest of the next hour or hour and a half. We ain't gonna be here all night, y'all. And that is my main man, Slim Jim Longfoot. What it do, brother?
What up? What's up, Rod? What's going on, everybody? What's up? Yo, good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever y'all are at. What's happening? It's your man, Slim Jim Longfoot, aka the GOAT, King of America. We in here getting this experience, baby.
I love it. Y'all hear the energy, man. You know, I was watching one of the videos. I said, how does he remember all that? And that ain't even all of it, y'all. He's shortening it up. That's the radio edit. But, man, it's great to have you here, bro. I like how you say good evening, good morning, good night, and all that, because you said I'm broadcasting everywhere. You know,
we international, baby. We international.
International, man, worldwide. Huh? Y'all, hey, we're about to have a good time tonight. I'm telling y'all, man. And I want to, before I even say anything else, Slim, tell the people, who are you, man? I know you're the King of America. At first, I thought you said Captain of America. But you're the King of America. Talk to the people, man.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I go by the name Slim Jim Longfoot, aka the GOAT, King of America. I created that moniker because, you know, Columbus came here and said he discovered America. So I say, you know what? I'm gonna be the king of it. You feel me? Because guess what? At the end of the day, we are all kings and queens. So it's all about what you the king of, the queen of. You feel me? You are the king or the queen of your own life. You feel me? You are the royalty in your own life. And so I say, hey, I'm gonna be the king of America because nobody else ain't claiming our royalty in the country. So I'm gonna claim it. And because for myself, that's how I perceive myself to be royalty, because we are children of God. And how can you get more royal than that? We are children of the Most High. We are children of the creator of everything. You feel me? And so that's how I get down with it. With the GOAT part, you know, everybody of course say, you know, as far as greatest of all time, and it's two you know, reasons behind it. You know, greatest of all time, yeah, I take that, but I'm a Capricorn, so you know we goats. So, but guess what? At the end of the day, everybody is goats because we are all greats. We all manifest greatness in our lives, and once you manifest that greatness, you maintain it, and then you know you can probably motivate others to be great. You feel me? So that's how we get down with it.
Man, you know, see, hey, y'all, on the experience, we learn something every show, man. On the experience with Rob, we about to learn a lot. But anytime I press live on this channel, I knew GOAT was greatest of all time. Come on now, I ain't gonna get caught slipping on the banana peel, but I ain't know it had something to do with a Capricorn or the GOAT. And now I was trying to figure out the 1408. I said maybe this was 14. I don't know, but hey, man,
that is a date in GOAT history though. That is a significant date in my history though. But if you want to, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to what 1408 mean in a minute.
All right. Well, okay, y'all got Slim Jim. Everybody, hey, that was a mouthful. Y'all better get your ears. You're going to have to probably watch the replay, man, because the excitement, the energy. I only bring the best of the best on this channel.
Take notes.
And he said, take notes. Y'all heard it. And, yo, it was about, whenever I started YouTube, I met 3 young ladies. Elevate with Vern, Charlene Hill, and Angie Poo 215 channel. And I was motivated by these 3 ladies. And because of these 3 ladies, that's how I became affiliated with Slim Jim Longfoot. He knew all these ladies. And it's crazy because I've done several shows, including hosting a YouTube forum on a cruise with Elevate with Vern. Charlene and I have done several collaborations. And Angie Poo 215 channel was my first co-host. But it took me all this time to get Slim on the stage, on the screen with your boy. So I owe you an apology, brother. That's all I'm gonna say. Right now, I owe you an apology. You should have been here.
No apologies needed, man. No apologies needed, because I know we all get busy. You know, when you have you know, when you have your YouTube, when you have your, you know, your schedule already set up, and then of course you got beyond YouTube, outside of the videos, work and family, and you know, your own me time, you know what I'm saying? All of those things add up, and you know, and then when you sit back and look at it, go, oh, it's been years now. It's been years since this. It's been years since that. And you look around and be like, oh, snap. And then, like, I don't know what it was. I think, well, you know, obviously you hit me up on Instagram the other day and he was like, hey, man, yeah. And I was like, sure, for sure. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shoot, all you got to do is ask him. If I'm free, I'm there, you know. I'm there. If I'm free, I'm there. Toy Renee Talks, thank you for being in the building as well. Amen, amen. Most awesome content creator right there. Bless you.
Hey, everybody. You know, and it's crazy, Slim, because you're right, man. I reached out on Instagram, and I'm gonna say something right now, y'all. This is a true testament of don't burn bridges. Don't act like you don't know nobody when you see them. Don't. I mean, I would see Slim Jim and other. I'm gonna say Slim. I ain't gonna be saying no Slim Jim. I'm not. I'm just not. Yeah, I'm just gonna be saying Slim going forward. So I would see Slim in lives like Sweet, Juicy, Athletic Leisure. I would see him over at who else did I see you at? Lala, the high life coach. And I would always up Slim, and he would always, what up, PBT, what up, Rod? So don't burn bridges. Now, Slim, man, where are you originally from, man?
I'm from the ATL, born Decatur raised.
Wow. So born and raised in the ATL. So you've seen a lot of transitions. Obviously it's overpopulated right now, but did it slow down? Because I remember the days of Freaknik and everybody was migrating to Atlanta, and you know, I went down there one time and there was too much going on for me. So
we've been saying for almost 30 years now, we full.
But you're moving outward though, like this.
Yeah, and that's the testament of us being full, because we gotta expand. That's why they expanded. They expanding. I mean, like downtown, like it's something new every time. Like if you leave from the city for about a month, 2 months, you're gonna see something else pop up there that wasn't there when you was there. You know, it's almost like getting out of the pen when you go downtown. Like my dad, he went downtown a couple of weeks ago for the first time in probably maybe a year or two or maybe 3, and he was like, "Where all this come from?" I was like, it's like crazy, you know. It's the city itself, Atlanta is. I mean, obviously it's growing. You know, it's the whatever you want to call it of the South, New York, Hollywood, whichever the case of the South, and you know, it's been expanding over the past nearly 40 years, you know, since we got the bid for the Olympics back in 1990, the Centennial Olympic Games that came in 96. And, you know, everything from that point forth, you know, the Atlanta culture, you know, with LaFace Records, you know, Outkast, TLC, Usher, and then on into the 2000s, Ludacris, you know, of course, Jermaine Dupri, you know, predates that, you know, all of the things that made Atlanta culture in terms of music, hip hop, you know, going back to the 70s with Brick, you know, so you got all of those convergence that made this Atlanta culture, and now is becoming, well, it's been national. It's been national for decades now. I think since the crunk era in the early 2000s, you know, when Lil Jon, you know, got it all national, and now it's after FIFA, after the World Cup matches that came here during this summer. Now, for those that didn't know, is definitely international now after the vibe that everybody got, you know, thanks to the World Cup, the 2026 World Cup, which is concluding this weekend.
Yeah, I heard that on one of your videos, and I look at and I'm gonna end this with a question, but I look at the migration or the evolution of Atlanta, should I say? You know, think of the international. To me, the Super Bowl brings an international crowd anyway, even though it's an American sport, football. It brings an international crowd. Then you take the Olympics, which is totally international. Then you get the World Cup. Now, I remember in the 90s, Atlanta being the Black Mecca.
Yeah.
Do people still look at Atlanta as the Black Mecca? Like, has it, like every other city, everywhere I go, even when I go to my hometown in Arkansas, I go back to California from Dallas, everything's different. Nothing really, and like you say, your dad said, "Oh man, this has changed." What has with everything moving outwards, and has that taken away from the Atlanta historic culture?
I want to say I believe it is to an extent because Atlanta has a bad habit of wanting to erase history. I'm always keep it true with that from landmarks, from places that no longer exist. When you think about Sweet Auburn, Auburn Avenue, and everything that used to exist in that area that is no longer there. Which if it wasn't for the fact that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on that street in Auburn Avenue, I mean his house would have probably been gone. So when you think of those situations, and how a lot of businesses, a lot of that was around 50, 60, 70 to 100 years ago, a century ago at this time, when ML King's parents were thriving, the mayor of Sweet Auburn and all of those, Atlanta has a bad habit of starting to erase history. And once again, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. I mean, we're talking about the bad history. So you got to know your good history. You got to know your bad history. And so, with the good part of that, it's good that we're spreading out a little bit. But the core of Atlanta is always going to be us, us melanated people. You dig? Because when it comes to us being a Black Mecca, you think about the
I think you froze, Slim. I'm gonna take. Hey, Slim, you may have to go out and come back in. Yeah, I think it's still showing him there. He may have froze with us, right? It's still showing that he's there. So Slim will be joining us momentarily. He rejoining us, should I say? But hey, if y'all have any questions for Slim, and I'm telling you, we haven't even touched the surface yet. Let me bring it back. Let me take it down. I'm gonna do this, y'all. Y'all bear with me. Let me just do one thing. There we go. Bear with. Okay, he's coming back. I'm looking at his comment right here. So hold on, I'm coming back. I think my net acting wonky. Okay, I shouldn't have did what I did, and I still saw him on my screen. So, but if y'all have any questions for Slim Jim Longfoot, please ask. I'm about. Like I said, if y'all ever been to an interview on Point Blank Experience, you know I'm about to dig, and we've already cleared that. Hey, I have a green light to ask what I want, and I told him like every other guest what I won't ask. Let me see. There we go.
internet, quit playing with us. See, YouTube is awesome. They talking too much real. We gotta shut it down. Shut them off.
I heard somebody else say that in a recent live stream that let me turn everything off. That the topics started getting good and they started talking deep, and then all of a sudden half the people was frozen or gone. So there may be some validity to that. So
yeah, most definitely. I'm gonna get. I mean, because hey, you know they watch you. So they might not be in. They might not. Somebody watching.
And I always say, you never know who's watching you. And I usually be thinking about people that don't really care what you got going on, but we really never know who's watching us. Every little move we make, and then if they're not watching us, Slim, it's tracking via your debit card, your credit card, your phone. Oh, yeah. You can't lead me to believe that every move we make on a daily basis, people don't know where we are or what we're doing.
That was the whole point of it all, because they had to make surveillance sexy. They had to make surveillance sexy. Like, back in the day, if you had to tell somebody, hey, like we're gonna give you a tracking device, and you're gonna keep it on you at all times, just like an ankle monitor, or whatever. It's like, wait, what? But see, they was like, we can't put no ankle monitors on anybody. We can't put chips on everybody. But we can do? We can create these little devices where they can watch videos off of, and then use it as a telephone and a calculator and an alarm, a video camera, and make videos and music, listen to music on, do all that, and they gonna keep it on them. So there you go.
That's who channel it was on. Slim, Sandra James living it. Thank you, Sandra, for being here. See, she reminded me, it happened to me Sunday. I was live, and it just, for no reason, it just froze up, and most people just hung there and wait because I think that's becoming the norm. We just know, hey, they coming back. I don't care if I got to go stand outside tonight on top of this building and do some magical stuff.
Right.
We will have this live. And so,
Oh yeah, most definitely.
now,
Hey, you know the old saying, one monkey don't stop no show. So
oh, you're right. And we go, hey, the show must go on. So, Slim, you born in Atlanta, still living in Atlanta. What was life like for Slim Jim Longfoot growing up?
well, once again, I'm gonna clarify because it's gonna be somebody like he ain't from Atlanta. ATL born, ATL born Decatur raised. I was raised on the east side, Decatur, which is a suburb of the ATL, and
Okay.
so. And of course, I venture in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't like they gonna segregate me. Oh, you from Decatur? You can't come to Atlanta. But growing up, I mean, it was chill growing up. I mean, for me, it was chill. Grew up with my mom and my dad and my sister. You know what I'm saying? She was in the house for a little bit because she's a little what. I ain't gonna say way older than me, but shout out to my sis, my big sis. You know what I'm saying? She got out the house, of course, before I did, and it was just a chill childhood. Growing up watching cartoons, getting into comic books thanks to my dad because he he grew up reading comic books and man was an artist, still an artist. You know what I'm saying? He's a jack of all trades. He carves wood staffs. You know what I'm saying? Those are build houses, build cars, etc., etc. And so I picked up, the art part of them. I picked up the artistic side of them. And, as a little kid, I was drawing. As a little kid, I was drawing and reading comic books. And reading was one of my first big passions because, of course, reading comic books, first you got to know how to read. And the first thing that I ever read was the TV Guide. Back in the day, we had TV Guides, y'all. For those who are youngins out here, we had these booklets, the TV Guides that told you what shows was coming on. And that's how I started learning how to read and knew when my shows was coming on, when my cartoons was coming on, when this and that and the third was coming on. Like, oh, okay, on Thursday, all right. And so that the childhood was just chill. It was chill childhood. And growing up in the 80s, like all of the stuff that was aimed toward kids back then, such as Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, the Ninja Turtles, of course, ending from the 80s and going into the 90s, and all of those things. And of course, that was of course at the height of Michael Jackson. His solo career was at the height at that time. Thriller had just came out, and all of those things. So music, pop culture. I was a pop culture fiend. I was a pop culture head back in those days, and so I enjoyed watching the TV and movies and the such. And so that's what it was, for me growing up. And then when elementary school, I met my best friend, who's basically my brother now. Y'all may have heard of him, Johnny Quest Gaming. I mention him all the time. And that's my bro, Johnny Quest Gaming, who's the co-founder of UGI Studios, our comic book imprint. And so yeah, I mean that was the growing up part. My niece was born when I was 8, so I became an uncle at 8. So so I was uncle to a little girl, making sure that she was was on her P's and Q's growing up, and it wasn't no pushover for no dudes or nothing like that. So that's what that was.
Okay. Hey, if y'all see me looking down, I have my questions here on my iPad. I'm trying to get a little bougie here, act like I'm a real network. But so I used to write them down.
Nice,
I used to write them down in a notebook, and type them out on paper. But
hey, Rod big time with it now. He like, hey, I ain't got time for the erasing. I'm gonna have these mother typed out digitized, so he know where it at. Rod on the pad, yeah.
You got to think big, man. If you think big, you become big. And you always say you shoot for the moon, you'll make it. You'll be amongst the stars. So now I'm gonna flip it around, Slim. Now I know you've had a lot of accomplishments in your life. I've been listening, and we're gonna talk about some. You're an author. We're gonna talk about that. You have you got it on your name. Let me pull it up. We're gonna talk about that. Jelly Bean Dream. I can't wait to hear about that because that's one of my questions. But I know you faced some challenges in your life. what would you say your top two challenges that you've ever faced?
Let's see, my top two challenges.
It could be
Uh,
one. It could be one, but later I say one, and then everybody got two. So now I'm saying two.
right. I understand that. Let's see. I'm gonna say as far as my top challenges, definitely dealing with this situation that started back in 2020 when I discovered having type 2 diabetes, and that has definitely been the focus of these 2020s, this decade, the 2020s, dealing with that and being on top of my health more than I've ever been in my life. Because you know how you are when you say you're gonna exercise, and you have your spurts of exercise and eating right, this, that, and the third, and then boom, it goes away. You might want to work out because you're trying to get back into some pants or something like that, or whatever the case may be, and so, you have those little spurts of aha moments, but this was the aha moment when I nearly died on February 27th of 2020. And, once this came about, finding I had type 2 diabetes, and it was like, okay, I got to get it together now. Either that or keep on doing what I've been doing and die, you know?
Wow.
So, it was the turning point, and that's why I created the daily vlog series on my channel, because I am thankful and grateful and blessed to see each and every day that God has given me since spending those 6 days in the hospital, and got out on March the 3rd, 2020, and the next day, March 4th, 2020, was day one. And earlier today, I recorded day 23, 26. And so, we've been just going, just going, each and every day that I wake up, I thank God for it, and try to stay on top of my health. Early on, I was taking insulin the first month, saying, to regulate my blood sugar. And then, while I started doing my different regiments of starting to cut out all the carbs, cutting out all the sweets, all of those things that you know trigger that, and so that's why I had to stay on top of. I had to stay on top of all of that and continue to stay on top of it. You might have days where you might want to be like, oh, I'm just gonna gorge, but you know what? The first thing that stopped me from wanting to pig out like I used to is remembering them 6 days in the hospital.
How many?
Remembering
Six, six or 60?
six. I
Six.
spent 6 days in the hospital from February 27th to March the 3rd. And it was a leap day that year too, so I had an extra day.
Wow.
So I always remember what I was doing leap day 2020.
It's crazy, man, because, and I know we didn't get to the second one, but I want to say this real quick. It's crazy that it takes us, and I'm one of the us, and we all, probably some of us, and I'm not going to say all of that, part of that us, to have a life-changing event that make us appreciate every day. And I'm one of those people. And it's I was listening to Slim and how he's throwing out these dates. And October 15th, 14th, that turned into the 15th, I went to the emergency room, and that was in 2024, and I walked out November 12th, 2024, 28 days. 28 days. And that moment changed my life. And I'm not going to dwell on that, but we got to do better, because once I'm listening to Slim, y'all, and when he found out in 2020, it was something else major going on called a pandemic. And then you got to go to the doctor, but everybody can't go outside. I mean, how stressful was that, man? I mean, I don't know if nobody else paid attention, but I'm listening.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you just like this. God is a trip. God is a trip, because I can't really say how I would have been had that not happened to me. I probably would have, no. Well, first and foremost, obviously, I wouldn't have been doing no daily vlogs. I would not have been doing no daily vlogs. I'm here to tell y'all that right now. It was the daily vlogs would not exist if that didn't happen. So, so that was a catalyst for me meeting a lot of people, including the three women, the three awesome content creators who you mentioned earlier, that that you met via me. Actually, wait, hold on. I think Angie is the only one that I knew before that. I knew Angie before that. She's the only one of the two that I knew, of the three that I knew before that. But with that being said, like, I was in the hospital during that time, and the 6 days I was in the hospital, that was when they had just announced the first two people in my state in Georgia that caught this thing that they had been slowly talking about over the past couple months. At that point, this coronavirus, you feel me? And so I was like, okay, like, and and I was like, okay, and then I got out. March the 3rd. And then I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do, my plan was I was gonna take off of work for a month, get myself together, get adjusted to my new, regimen, my diet of eating and everything like that. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna head back to work on in April. And by the time April came, my job was shut down because this thing done got kind of nationwide and then on to global. I'm like, okay. And so, like I say, God is a trip, because my daily vlogs was definitely I believe, a focal point for me to let everybody else know that it's gonna be okay, because I had just survived death, and so it was just all black comedy to me. It was black comedy to me. It was just like, something like this would happen the year I almost died. A whole pandemic, global pandemic. How about that? It was just funny to me, but at the same time, I felt it was a blessing, because here I was doing these daily vlogs, and this is something that you had to be reminded of on a daily, to don't let this stress you out. God is still in control of everything that's going on. Don't let them play with your head and have you going crazy like a headless chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, the world shutting down. Like, hey, the world is still here. The world is still here. You know what I'm saying? What was really shutting down was this whole system that we shouldn't have been living in to begin with. This whole 9 to 5 system, this, day, and the third. But at the end of the day, a lot of people was going through it and was suffering because of the way it was shut down. And if you didn't have no finances backed up, or didn't have a job that was going to help secure you or whatnot, then yeah, you was really up the creek without a paddle. You was ice skating uphill, like Blade said, and you can't ice skate uphill. And so it was definitely a time, and a time to really work on yourself and work on, getting. I mean, it wasn't just me. It was a lot of people that had to work on themselves during that time. And to think now it's been 6 years, y'all. It's been 6 years since 2020. Has time been weird this decade for y'all, or just me? It's definitely, I think, been for a lot of people, because we almost at 2030, and 2020 still feel like it was a year or two ago. It's crazy.
It's like we're in a time warp to me, man. It's
Yeah.
like 20. I hate to say this, man, and I ain't usually paranoid, but it's like every new decade, I expect something crazy to happen to Rod. In 2010, I was dead broke. 2020, I almost lost my job. I lost 65% of my pay. I'm scared of 2030, man. And I'm tripping, Slim, but it's real, man. But I'm listening to you, so let me make sure I got this. You went through what everybody else went through with the pandemic, and then you found out you had diabetes, and then the company you work for wasn't there no more.
But well, it was still there, but it wasn't an essential job, and so I couldn't work it. It was like, okay, I can't work it. But thankfully, what I'm saying, the powers that be at that job, made sure that we was covered. We made sure that the employees was covered. So that was a blessing on that. It was basically like, had a job, but didn't have to go to work. So that was a blessing. That was a blessing, and I can't be more thankful of that time enough. And so that happened for that went on for a year, and then got back to it. And then it was, but one thing that changed most definitely, like, what I'm saying, like, a lot of people used to make fun of Michael Jackson when he go out in public with his mask on, but I still go out in public with my mask on to this day in 2026, because one thing I tell people, they be like, why you still got your mask on? I tell myself, people still nasty. So at the end of the day, I mean, it's just I look at it as a physical way of saying, hey, I still got to protect myself, especially with how they say that you are more so affected to things such as coronavirus. When you have diabetes, or or your health isn't as great, you're more susceptible to those things. And so I stay, on top of it so much. Yeah, Sandra said definitely moving super fast. Or somebody mess with the order of time of God is speeding things up. I think he's speeding things. In my opinion, Sandra, I think he's speeding things up in order for us to get through the the this box that we've been living in, that was fabricated and created by the quote unquote powers that be, the folks in charge. I ain't gonna, mention that the G word, but the G men, you feel me? So the folks that's in charge that has been, saying that, boy, I could go there, Rod. I could go there.
Hey man, no, we'll have no profanity. We'll know if we went too far because they'll shut us down.
yeah. We ain't gonna go all the way there. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna Fred Hampton me. You feel me?
Right. I feel you. You bring up a good point, because I think my therapist, she referred to the 2000 as a box. She did it. She referred to it as when no one could go out, we were in the box because everybody was in, and then what was created while we were in this box, technology, social media I started on YouTube. You had already been there, but then we all started meeting all these people virtually, not in real life. But we all meeting in this little box. So when this box was open, people didn't know how to function when they went back out the box. And we still ain't even all the way out the box. I'm waiting on the box to close back up personally. But I mean,
and I'm gonna tell you one thing, and here's another thing that I think I was more chill with the whole situation, because in heart, I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert already as it is. I'm an introvert. So if you tell me stay in the house, you know what I'm saying, first and foremost, that ain't no threat. That ain't no threat to me. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing though. I don't like being controlled. So if I'm in the house, it's because I want to be in the house. Now, if I want to go outside, I'm going outside. But you ain't gonna make me stay in the house. But at the end of the day, I like to be in the house. I love to be in the house, especially when you paying all this money to daggone have it. You know what I mean? Hey, you want to be in the house. And so, I mean, but if you tell me I can be in the house and I ain't got to pay nothing, then hey, I'm with it. So that's even better for me. I got no reason to go outside other than daggone stock up on my stuff. Get my food and everything that's gonna help me, keep it together, and a lot of people, extroverted people, those were the ones that were really suffering during that time, because they wanted to be outside, and that's why so many people started getting sick, this, that, and the third, and whatnot. I even had a whole special on my channel during that time, of the whole era, what I'm saying? Like, because I mean, I've been, doing daily vlogs every day since the beginning of 2020. So we went through that, that whole year of just making it through it, and it's been. It was a trip. It was definitely a trip. And so, come 2021, everything was settling back down. And then 2022 kicked off. And then that started off crazy with what happened with my niece. She was shot on the 2nd of February of 2022. And that, of course, started where, this situation, in terms of, a new reality, for my sister and my niece and my niece's kids, of dealing with, that situation, the aftermath of that situation. And, shout out to my nephew who's getting ready to start college next month. My niece's oldest son graduated back in May, about to start college next month. The past 4 years since that has definitely been, an experience for real, Rod. And I'm glad and blessed that my niece is still here. My sister's still here. My dad, myself, my niece's kids making it through it. And, it's been a trip. And
he'll be back, y'all. Cause I know it's storming here, maybe storming where Slim is. Slim, if you can hear me, man, just redo whatever you did a while ago. And I'm gonna go with some of these accolades that he has while he is coming back. But just asking for a friend, Keisha said that is so me. I go to the store once a month. I'm gonna take Slim down so we're not looking at him like that. And that's in reference to Slim said he's an introvert. You know, during the pandemic, people that are introverted like Slim and Keisha, they didn't care. That's all right. We're gonna talk, brother. He said they don't want me talking. Here you go. We back. Hey, that's all right, man. No, he ain't yet. We'll do that all night long. We'll go and come. I ain't in Hollywood, so I don't expect a perfect show. As long as you got two brothers talking and people in the audience come in and throw in their input here. Hey, we're gonna roll with this. Let me see, what was I at right here? Uh, uh, and I want to touch on this. As crazy as it is, because it is crazy because I didn't experience being in the box because I was an essential worker. So was I. So they said I don't know how. So I worked at a dealership, and we couldn't even get parts for cars. So I don't know how they considered me being essential when we had no cars to sell. But hey, they said I was, and I wasn't mad because the human interaction. You know, we lost a lot of people because they cut back. You're not selling as much. You're not making as much revenue. We got to get rid of some of the people we're having to pay. So let me bring Slim back up here. Here we go. Hey, that's all right, man. Hey, if we have to go and come and go, we don't care. But I was just saying, Keisha just asking for a friend. Says she's an introvert. She just go to the grocery store. And Sandra was talking about she was an essential worker. And that's where Keisha said that. And I'm going to lead into my next question, Slim, real quick. I noticed, and I'll talk to you backstage, I'm going to ask that about the counting things in days, and I like the answer you gave me, and I want the people to hear that. But one of the questions I had, and you beat me to the punch, was about on February 2nd, 2022. And the reason that was, now I don't know if y'all ever thought about this. I'm sure y'all have, because Rod is analytical. I might change my name to the points blank analytical experience or something, because
right, analytics with Rod
or something. When I didn't expect me to be smart, I ain't really all that.
Right,
but,
right, exactly. Right.
So
do you know
February 2nd, 2022 is when your niece had the incident, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is February the second month, the second day, the year 2022. Yep. Have y'all thought about that? Or did I like create something, or did y'all already think about that?
Yep, 2222. And then 20 days later was 22222. And that was on a Tuesday. So that was a whole Tuesday. 22222.
I ain't even think about Tuesday. Lord have mercy. So now my next question: diabetes. Your niece. Who do you turn to when you just need some, or is there someone to turn to, or you just Slim just figured out who is your go-to person with going through all this stuff?
The Most High, God. Like, you know, like I have my, you know, my dad, you know, we talk, thank God for, you know, still having my dad. We converse, you know, we talk, you know, I got my bro Johnny Quest Gaming, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, God, that's who I pray to, that's who I ask for, you know, I ask for an answer, and of course I don't always hear a voice, but he may provide it with a person may pop up with the answer, you know what I'm saying? And they didn't even know that they didn't even know the question, but they popped up with the answer just unexpectedly. Or it may be in a dream that I may have, and I may find out in a dream whether I'm talking to my mom in my dream, or I might be talking to somebody who I've never met before in life, you know, a whole brand new character in the dream, you know, a brand new person in the dream. And so, and I don't know if y'all ever had dreams about people that you've never met, like people who don't have like people who you never seen before, people you never met, but you only seen them in a dream. And it's those be the moments when you might be talking to an angel. Those might be angels you're talking to. And so those are definitely my go-tos when it comes to when I have something on my mind, you know, when I'm thinking, you know, when you're out of sorts, you know, when you get out of sorts, you know what I'm saying, Go to your friends, go to your family, you know, those trusted loved ones in your life. And of course, most definitely go to the Most High, because at the end of the day, God knows all, everything that we doing, everything that we thinking, he already know. He know us better than we know ourselves. And then whenever we get lost, you know what I'm saying, we got to do that. The Lord's in the house. Yeah, most definitely love to push a P all day. Love to push a P, my big sis of YouTube, and the D3 and
I've
the
heard of
Archie.
that name. I don't know where I know him from. Man, you know, Slim, you just mentioned something, man, because in 2024, in my opinion, well, I guess it's my opinion and my truth because it's all involving me. I think that's the year I totally all out stop judging people. I ain't talking about how much money they got, just I ain't talking about what kind of clothes they wear. I just quit judging people altogether because what you just said, when I was in the hospital, it all started when this guy approached me and I kind of was mean to him. And my friend, I called my friend, my buddy, I can't say his name, but and he said, you know what, man, that might have been Jesus you was talking to. You was so mean to. I said, man, I got no sleep that night. In this hospital, thank goodness I could go wherever I wanted to go. I got up the next day and spent half the day looking for this guy. I found him, but I never got his name. And then there was another guy that used to sit on the bench every morning. Me and him would drink coffee. He told me his name, but I forgot. And I really believe these people, obviously, everything's already written. I believe these people were sent to because this guy that my buddy said could have been Jesus was in bad shape to my eyes. I don't know. I never. They discharged him, and I never saw him again. And when they discharged him, he shouldn't have been discharged. That dude was in bad shape, but I never saw him again. Anyway, so I just wanted to say that because y'all, man, I think of so much stuff happening around us, and we just kind of take it for granted or don't like up here. Are we froze now?
Oh no, I'm good. Can you see me?
Oh, well, she's probably talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So I feel like the lines get blurred in dreams for me. Hey, Tar, and it can be scary because it feels like a reality. I have this gift. I can wake up. If I don't like to dream, I can wake up. I take it to the edge too. I can take it all the way out. Like, I don't want to be there no more, and I wake up.
Same. And I love that because for a good little while, you be so deep into the dream. Wait, are we still froze, y'all? Press a 7 if y'all can see us. Okay.
I think we're good.
Okay, cool. But you be so deep into the dream, it feels like reality. But then something to click somewhere, and then I'd be like, oh, that's a dream. And then sometimes I'd be like, okay, let me let it play out. I let it play out as long as possible, and then if I ain't feeling it, then I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and wake up, you know. And so
I'm like Keisha though, Slim. Like that good dream I was had, good that's about to go bad, that I wake myself up about. She said I could be having a good dream. Well, mine go bad. They be good till I wake up because I know they're about to go bad, and then wake up and forget what the dream was about. That's what
I have that problem as well. Like my dream will be so detailed, and then it's like 5 minutes into waking up, like 2 to 5 minutes into waking up, everything just start fading away. All the details, everything just and then the only thing I remember is what it was, either weird, good, bad. And I try to remember some pieces of it and parts of it, but then it'd be like, dang, it's gone.
And that's what just asking for a friend, Keisha said. And then I might remember days later when I see something that reminds me of something that happened in the dream. That's, hey, what's going on, Edna? Thank you for being here. Dolores, now I like this. Pete is a walking miracle and survivor, and blessed to have an uncle like you.
Thank you, Dolores. Thank you.
I didn't. When I saw that, I heard that. I didn't go searching for it. I wanted to hear it live with everybody else. Like, did she make it or not? And I didn't even put that part down on here. I just said, hey, February 2nd, 2022, something happened that changed your life. And that was how I was going to question it. But moving on. When I saw this video, it had been 5,000 days since you lost your mom. I can't remember the date that I saw. 5,000 days. I didn't get a chance to calculate it. And the reason I chose not to calculate it, because if you're like me, it's something, it may not be every day, but like every other day that will happen, or I can't hear her, but subliminally I hear her say, "Hey, you better slow yourself down. Hey, boy, quit acting a fool." Stuff like that. So, how did losing your mother affect your life? If you don't have to answer that, it's just a question that's on my heart.
Well, I'm gonna just say it like this, all right. It definitely affected my life because it's a whole person that you know I mean if my mom was a crappy person, I wouldn't be affected at all because I've known some diabolical people who I can look back upon and be like, man, I mean, I hate that. Excuse me, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm only human. I hate to say it like that, but there are some people who are now gone that I'd be like, whew. But my mom was definitely not one of them, and how that affected my life. It not only affected my life, but it affected my life by affecting all around me. Of course, my dad, who was married to her for 32 years. It affected myself, who lost a great mom. It affected my sister, who had a great mom. My niece, who had a great grandma, who had a good grandmama. My brother-in-law, when he was still here, he next month will be 10 years since his passing. He used to say all the time, man, y'all know how, stereotypically people talk about how they got such a horrible mother-in-law. He was like, man, I had the best mother-in-law. I had the best mother-in-law, man. I had the best mother-in-law because my mom loved him like he was one of her kids. And you know what I'm saying? And like he was like, man, I had a good mama-in-law, you know what I'm saying? Because you always hear about, oh man, the mother-in-law is coming. Oh, it's the whole pop culture references of it. But he knew he had a good mother-in-law, and that's what is missing. You know what I'm saying? When you lose good people, that's always going to be a hole that you can never fill. But at the end of the day, if you choose to look beyond our physical, because we are spiritual beings encased in this flesh, and so if you look beyond that, what I'm saying, you are going to always see them, always feel them. And obviously the thing is, physically we can't see her no more, we can't talk to her, we can't touch her, kiss her, say I love you in person, but we can still say I love you because the spirit is always there. We can still, unfortunately, I mean, that's why some dreams I'd be like, man, I don't want to wake up from, because I might be dreaming, having conversations with my mom, and and the funny thing is, it don't be conversations of memory from a past, the past, something that happened in the past. It'd be something completely brand new that never happened. And so that's how I believe that you can always tell when it's that actual person in your dreams, as opposed to it just being a memory of remembering once upon a time what happened, way back when they were still here. It could be something that's going, something present, something that's never happened, conversations that you never had. And that's how you can tell that this is really them, or at least no, it's really them. That's how I
Right.
feel about it.
And
So,
that's what we're here, man. Speak your mind.
oh yeah. So
When
my experience, what I'm saying, and that's what it is, and the reason why it's not like I remember today, with today being 5,000 days since that happened. One of my friends, they keep a calculating on something that they got going on in their lives, and it happened around the same time as my mom's passing. So that's why I was like, oh snap, let me check my calculations and see when that is, because that means that's been almost 5,000 days as well. And then I calculated that 3 days ago. I was like, oh wow, the 16th, that's gonna be 5,000 days. And then just so happened, look at, I call it divine timing, y'all. I call it divine timing. So here we are, me and Rod had already made our plans for today, July the 16th being the day of our interview here, our conversation here, and also falling on 5,000 days since what was and still is one of the top horrible days of my life. Most definitely. And it's good to speak on that. It's good to speak on those days that change your life, whether it's for the good or the worse. You speak on it and you release it out there, you know what I'm saying? And that is what we got to do on a continual basis, because you don't want to sit with that. You don't ever want to sit with the sorrow. You don't want to sit with the sadness. Otherwise you ain't gonna care no more. And you know, you can, I mean, you know, us as humans, we can easily go into a IDGAF mode, but that ain't what God got us here for. He ain't got us here to be in that type of mode. I mean, it might be some folk here that just was brought here to be some buttholes, you know. But at the end of the day, you gotta choose what you want to be. You gotta choose what you want to bring into this world. You know what I'm saying? Either you gonna bring the darkness or you gonna bring the light. It's up to you what you gonna do. And so, my mom was a good woman, a beautiful hearted woman, and you know that part of her is still in me, and that's why I try to continue to bring out, you know, keep her legacy, keep her light alive, you know what I'm saying, as long as I'm here. You know what I'm saying? My dad as well, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like he could have easily just been in that whole mode as well. And, you know, of course, obviously as a man, he has his sad days because, you know, that's his wife, that's his love, that's gone now. But at the end of the day, you know, she's still here with him. He know she's still here with him, not in the way he wanted her to be, but she knows she's still here with him as well. And so, you know, that's you know, that's what you call love right there. You know, that's what you call love. And that's what we got to continue to put on into the world, because there's so many people that try to, like, you know, with the way technology has been built up over the past decade, 2 decades, 25 years since the 2000 Y2K, they want to spread hate so much. They want to spread hate as much as they possibly can, because you know how quick misinformation and crazy stuff spread like wildfire on the internet. And that's why we got to dilute that. We got to battle that with love. Otherwise, it's all going to be jacked up. And like you said, right, with 2024 for you, 2024 is also significant for me as well, because I got hit by a dump truck. You said, well, October 14, 15. I got hit by a dump truck October the 25th of 2024. Could have been up out of here, you know what I'm saying? But God spared me. I still got everything working, other than, you know, a little tinge in my back. But other than that, God bless you.
Hold up, Slim. Hold up, man. Boy, y'all, I ain't know none of this. We don't script this stuff. So I'm hearing. Y'all can't even talk. I'm hearing this when y'all hear it. So, type 2 diabetes, hit by a dump truck, not a pickup truck, but a dump truck.
A dump truck,
and you still here. You know, I'm gonna say, y'all, we have to be thankful and grateful for every day, and that's why I brought up those 5,000 days. And I asked him before this live was cool to talk about that, because every day, 5,000 days. When you say, hey, like me, my mom passed in 1992, and that's what, 24 years ago. But when I say, if I calculate that is some days, and think about all I do in a day, and all we all do in a day, it get real then. But I know when think about what you just said, I went on a deployment 7 days after my mom passed. I have 26 commendations and medals from the U.S. Navy. I don't even count the letter of appreciations.
Thank you for your service.
Thanks, man. And that deployment, I got more awards than I've ever gotten in my career. I was an E4. And every time I got an award, I went out to the focuser or the front of the ship by myself, where they couldn't see me on the bridge. And I looked up and I thanked my mom, because that's who made it. And I just knew she was looking down, because they gave me an option not to go on that deployment. And I was like, no, man, I got to go. She want me to go. So I thought about something the other day. I said, you know, I want to leave a legacy. And my mom left a legacy. It ain't in America. It ain't in the West Coast or the East Coast or down South. But in my hometown, to this day, I still have classmates, people I don't know, that whose life she affected. And they'll, on her birthday, June 8th, I get all these little messages, happy heavenly birthday and all that. And to me, that's just love. So shout out to anyone that's gone through what me and Slim are talking about, which was losing our mothers, but I'm not going to dwell on it. Now, I got to talk about something, man. We got some content creators in here. You got something going on right now on YouTube, and it's reapply in July. Y'all all come on here and act like I know everything. I tell you what I thought it was, and I usually be wrong. But I thought reapply in July was reapply yourself because it's halfway through the year and July to 7 months. So you got to get back focused. But I was watching the video and that ain't what it is. Reapply in July. You said you was working toward your monetization again.
Now, first and foremost, I like that. I like that. And see, now you done brought some shift to you done brought a shift to that now. So
that's what I do, baby.
and of course, I haven't been live today for Reapply July. I'm going to do that after we do our live stream here. And so, with that being said, you just brought the shift, and I'm going to be mentioning that when I do my live stream tonight about Reapply July. And so, I love that because I speak on that all the time with the last 6 months of the year, y'all. For those that don't pay attention to July, August, September, October, November, December. That's Jason D. You know, the 5 months, July, August, September, October, November. That's Jason, and you got D, December. So in the Jason D months, which is the latter half of the year, that's when you always find your footing, find yourself. If you make it to that point in the year, you find yourself, find your footing, and understand what that year is going to represent for you. You know what I'm saying? Because some people getting in the first half, some people getting in the second half. And so with that being said, the reason why I started the series Reapply July was because I got demonetized YouTube back in April. And they said I was gonna have to wait until July the 8th to reapply. And so July 8th came, and that's when I started doing my live stream series, because I got to get my watch hours back up so I can reapply. Hopefully here in July. If I don't get the watch hours up before the month is over, then I just gotta work on it until I can reapply. But that was my theme, going into that reapply in July. But I like how you speak on it when it comes to reapplying yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Reapply in July is gonna stick from now on, every July, because it's about reapplying yourself, not just for monetization here on YouTube, but you know what I'm saying, you done make it through these first 6 months, January to June. Now July to December, you know what I'm saying, you gotta reapply, like for those that do resolutions, New Year resolutions. If you haven't accomplished that New Year resolution that you said you were going to do back in January, you need to go ahead and reapply it, you know what I'm saying, and get back to it. And me, I'm not a person that like to do New Year resolutions, because I like to kind of do like new day resolutions in a sense, because with that being said, like my resolution is always to do better than I did the year before. So, and do better than I did the day before, the week before. And it may sound exhausting, but it's not really exhausting, because first and foremost, y'all got to remember, there's somebody who was here yesterday that didn't make it to today that wanted to do something today. There's somebody that died yesterday that didn't make it to today. There's somebody who done died today that ain't making it to tomorrow. And I pray there ain't nobody that's in this space right now. So if it's you watching this, whether you are here in the live stream or you watching in the replay of this awesome live stream, you know what I'm saying? Reapply yourself to do better in your life, be greater. Because that's what we do here. My channel, I don't call them subscribers or followers on any of my social medias. Y'all are all citizens of the GOAT Nation. You know what I'm saying? That's what I call my people that rock with me, because we are, manifestors of greatness. We are all GOATs. And so we're trying to bring this nation together and keep that going, because we are all great. Ride is great. You great. All y'all great. You feel me? Everybody in the chat. Sandra, the D Nicholas 13, India Funny Form, just asking for a friend. Toya Renee talks, Etna's World YT, you know what I'm saying? Everybody who is up in this thing, Tara, all y'all who up in here, you know what I'm saying? Life with Tasharia, I see you, Frugal Mama, who get about to hit that 5-0 this year, and she done hit 1 million views and almost at 5K subscribers. You feel me? Hey, you feel me? So we out here, man. We out here just putting out these great vibes. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the vibes and the love. That's the foundation of it all. That's what's gonna make everything work and stand up. You know what I'm saying? I know when he was out there getting those awards, he felt his mama's spirit. He felt her all over him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't just feel the sun, he didn't just feel God, he felt her warm embrace. He felt her spirit, knowing that he was doing everything that he needed to do at that moment. And and the fact that he said what he said then about reapplying July, you know what I'm saying, that reapplies to all of us, you know what I'm saying, to do better, not just in July, but going forth. Like I try to have a theme, you know, starting what I think sometime last year I started having a theme every month. I have been doing affirmations for April and August for a few years now, but you know, last year I did my live stream series live in 2025 because like I said, after the dump truck incident, I was like, yeah, if I make it to 2025, I'm gonna do something pretty cool. I'm gonna go live every day in the year 2025. And I did that for 366 days from January 1st 2025 to January 1st 2026. That was crazy, but your boy did it because I wanted God to bless me with them days to make it to it, because he took me out of 2024. He spared me from being unalive in 2024. And so here I am in 2025, and now here we are in 2026. We still here, y'all. We still here. You know, made it to my nephew's graduation. He getting ready to start college. His younger brother getting ready to start high school. They little sister, she turned 10 back in May. You know what I'm saying? I'm so proud of my niece's kids. I'm proud of my niece who, you know what I'm saying, is still here to be here with her kids and see it all. My sister, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, we just, it's an amazing thing, man. And we just go through this channel link.
I got you.
Okay,
Keep on talking, brother.
cool.
I'm already on it.
Hey, hey, Rod be on it. You feel me? And that's why we here. That's why, hey, when I first seen Rod, I was like, yeah, that dude, he cool, man. He cool. Like when I seen him do the co-hosting with Angie, shout out to Angie Pooh. You know what I'm saying? They always had some amazing content, amazing subjects and topics that they spoke on. And so it was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And like, yeah, this dude, he is on his thing. You know, he is a chill brother who know what he talking about and know how to, you know, I mean, just keeping it true, you know, like you said earlier, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no Hollywood over here. We just vibe. We two cats on here with the camera on, you know, and making it do what it do and does what it does. And everybody that resonate down here, appreciate y'all for resonating with it. And
you know, it's funny you said it, and I didn't mean, but I
you good.
I posted on the Nickels. They're right here, and I want to address some. Hey, if y'all do a raid, I don't know how y'all did it. I'm going right here. If y'all do a raid, if y'all try to raid both Slim Jim and myself, because he's not broadcasting his channel. If you got it both of them, that may be because I don't do the raids like that, but I just want to help y'all out. But the Nickels hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours and got fully monetized. Just asking for
congratulations.
Just got monetized a couple weeks ago, and I remember telling them one thing. If I told them a bunch of stuff, but the one thing that stick out is do it your way. Don't do it the popular way. Don't do it the Joneses way. Do it your way. And I can honestly say, Slim Jim, Longfoot, we probably connected around 2021. 2000, yeah, I started my channel in 20, so roughly 2021. So that's 6 years. Rod, y'all see it. I do it my way. I don't even work at corporate America no more, so because I wanted to do it my way. Nobody was going to tell me which way to do it but my way. And then here are two people that are two channels that are flourishing because they did it their way. And what I'm saying with all that, ladies and gentlemen, is don't keep up with the Joneses, be the Joneses. I really don't want nobody being like Rod. I want everybody to be an individual. You know, I said I learned a lot when I was in the hospital, but one of the things I learned was I quit calling people weird because I found out we all weird in our own way. I mean, I'm weird. I said, man, I do something else, but that was weird. Well, we all are. So with that being said, I put the stuff out there. Slim, I'm going to jump in here. I got to ask this question before I forget. If you could meet anybody, I ask this question. I don't know why nobody's ever ready for it, but I ask it every time I have a conversation. If you could meet anyone, living or no longer with us, that you've never met before, who would it be?
Miss Jackson. they ain't never no hesitation with me about that. Miss Jackson. Miss Janet Demeter Joe Jackson.
You said the whole name.
Miss Jackson.
So So you ain't had to hesitate. You was ready for that one.
ain't never not none. His little sister. See that dude in the background? His little sister.
Oh man. And y'all hear that dog? This dude said he said a whole name. I heard, I didn't see the whole name, but I couldn't remember. I'm trying to get back what were these comments. The Nichols gave you some claps there. They love your vibes. We got the channel links out there. Got it. Thank you. Congratulations. Okay, I tried to rate you. Oh, I don't know. Thank you. Hey, no problem. Thank you, everybody. All right, I'm just catching up real quick. So, Janet Jackson, we are peculiar people. Jared, I mean, hey, I want to say something. I ain't about to start doing it, though. I'm just going to shout out Slim. I ain't about to start doing it, but I saw this thing about 3 people's names here. There go one, and I owe all y'all apologies. So, Jerry, the Nichols, and where Keisha at, all these are channel members, and I ain't even mentioned Chuck in channel members. I ain't even mentioned it. Shout out to the people that are channel members, because I ain't about to do this now. Every episode I looked at, Slim Jim names out every channel member he got. That's the heart that he has in what he's doing. And he's doing this in some kind of way. I don't even want to know how or why. He got demonetized with a whole bunch of subscribers, and he's still shouting out people that's been rocking with him. And then I look, and now this is gonna segue into my next question, Slim. I might, and I ain't saying it might be somebody watching replay, because I don't know about nobody in here. I can't remember everybody's here, but I got a whole paragraph. He's shouting out these channel members. We came into YouTube where there was a little more camaraderie. I'm still talking about Elevate with Vern and Charlene Hill and Angie Pooh 215 5-6 years later. Ain't got nothing but love and respect for those women. And Slim, I'm gonna say this right now. I've been seeing a whole lot of impersonators on YouTube. And let me define what I mean when I say, oh, see how he look? Hey, y'all, I keep it real. And when I say impersonators, we're not being true to ourselves. We're not being who we are. We see this person and they're flourishing. We try to be like them. I did it too. That's why it's so easy for me to see it, because I did it. And then we see this person, and then we go to this person's channel, and we ain't who we were in this channel. It's a whole lot of impersonating going on. But one thing I learned, man, I'm gonna tell you, if you look at an impersonator, they never make as much money or flourish like the real deal.
That part.
The impersonator never do and live up. Matter of fact, we don't even know the impersonator's real name. We just know they're impersonating Michael.
Right.
Impersonating Jordan.
Right.
But we don't know them. So I say this. I'm gonna read how I wrote it so I don't forget. People are trying so hard to be something they're not. People are really trying to find their spot on YouTube. And some of them are mad at me and you. I know that's improper English. They mad at me and you because we're comfortable in our own lane. And that's why I told Kizzy, and that's why I told Keisha, do it your way.
That part.
Because if you're doing it your way, you're in your lane. But it's so many people on YouTube impersonating, and then everybody else's lane, they don't even know what the hell going on in their lane, Slim.
Exactly. Driving with a blindfold on.
So I say all that to say, agree or disagree, or you feel impartial?
I agree. I agree in the sense of when it comes to, it's one thing if you get inspiration from somebody. If you see somebody and be like, oh, I like what they doing, I want to try to incorporate some of that, in what I do. Or like, say for instance, if you see somebody who is making a whole bunch of money doing comedy, if you're not funny, it's not gonna work for you. Or you can work on trying to be funny, but if it doesn't come natural for you, if it doesn't come natural for you, or if you're not really interesting, if you just trying to do it for the clout, if you trying to do it for a paycheck or whatnot, it's going to show. It's going to show in everything that you do. You know, they either gonna, because at the end of the day, when you impersonating somebody else, you can't do it forever. You know what I'm saying? It's like John Wayne, for instance, the actor, legendary Western actor John Wayne, or you know, actor, because he's been in other stuff outside Westerns, but you know, we know him for being cowboy and whatnot like that.
Mm-hmm.
His whole persona was really taken from the baseball player Ted Williams.
Mm.
He stated that, you know, and so even though he stated that his personality, his persona, his on-screen persona was basically Ted Williams, the baseball player who played for the Boston Red Sox.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I guess you could say that's understandable because he is an actor, and so he acted in that lane of bringing that to screen, that persona to screen, the swagger that he perceived Ted Williams to have, and so he brought that to his characters on screen. You know, and if you know John Wayne movies, or, you know, remember the actor, you know what I'm saying, that's basically the swagger he presented when he was on screen. It was basically the swagger that he presumed the baseball player Ted Williams to have every time he saw him do his interviews and stuff of that nature. And, you know, and John Wayne, y'all know that wasn't even his real name. His real name was Marion, which of course no guy now will be named Marion, hopefully. But yeah, but yeah, so there are some people who can, you know, obviously kind of get away with it, but it's kind of like being a Michael Jackson impersonator. Shout outs to the MJ once again. Like you can try to impersonate Michael, but you're not gonna be Michael. You know, like Michael, like even Michael, he studied from the greats, you know, such as Gene Kelly, and you know what I'm saying, and James Brown, of course, James Brown, Jackie Wilson, Fred Astaire. He studied all of the greats. He saw all of the greats, and he took what they did and he took it to another level. And so now when you look at it, you just looking at Michael Jackson. You like, you know, unless you know those greats that he studied, you won't see them unless you go study them yourself. Other than that, everything that you see is just Michael Jackson. Like Chris Brown and Usher and all of the guys who came after Michael, Neo and all those cats. You can, you know, like they can say, hey, you know, they was influenced by Michael Jackson, but one thing for certain, they can't be Michael Jackson. But if they go and see who he learned from, and so forth, you know, they'll have a deeper pool, you know what I'm saying, a deeper pool, you know what I'm saying, learning, you know, the singers, you know, like you have to go deeper into the well, you know what I'm saying, like you ain't gonna find no gold if you just swipe your hand on the ground and say, I think some gold down there. Like, nah, you gotta dig. You gotta go dig deep if you want to get that treasure. You feel me? So you gotta go deeper. And so that's how you find that treasure, aka find yourself and be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that you can ever be. You can just be you. Like if you want to make a living impersonating somebody famous, then go right on ahead, because you know, I mean, there's somebody out there who want to go find a Michael Jackson impersonator or Prince impersonator or whoever. But if that's who you want to be, if you want to be famous for being somebody else, that's up to you. But me, myself personally, I can only ever be me. I can't be nothing else.
I'm gonna be on the show with a song talking about this, Slim, and I want to read what Toya got here. Then I'm gonna say something that you said, and I'm gonna say something that I've said, and it's all gonna come together. So and Toya, Slim know Toya because I saw how the interaction was. I think it's important to study the greats. I like that. Study the greats, but then make it your own and go by the light God has for you individually. Amen.
That part.
Amen. Now I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say people right now may be mad at Slim. They may be mad at Rod. They may be mad at some of y'all in here. But it's because people are afraid. And you do something. I'm gonna turn around. Notice how you said a while ago, but I'm gonna spin all this around. You mentioned affirmations, but we ain't gonna get there just yet. I'm gonna talk about affirmations, like speaking into existence, manifested. Like Slim said, I don't know the date, but he said, actually I do know the date, January 24th, 2017. That's 9+ years ago. You did a very, very short video. It wasn't a short. I don't even think they had shorts then.
Nope.
and you said you had a show called Live Me. I took that as I am live me. And you said, I am the next superstar. When I got on YouTube, I said, I made this statement. And I'm gonna pull up something real quick. After I say this, I'm gonna pull it up for 2 seconds. I'm gonna take it back down. But I said October 19th, 2019 is when I started PBT. I don't make no resolutions. I just set goals. I'm like Slim said earlier, I don't make resolutions. But I set a goal, not January 1st. It was probably the January 14th that year, because that's the day my mom passed, that I would be the Tyler Perry of YouTube.
Hey.
And right there, let me take this comment down. For those you don't know, what that is, the Points Blank Network in the middle, it started with Points Blank Travel, Investing with Rod, Points Blank Experience, Points Blank Clips, Soulful Southern Sounds, Passcode to Success, 247-365, meaning I stay grinding 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. That don't mean I got to be in front of the camera, but I'm thinking positive when I'm not making moves. And I changed the slogan to operating with precision. I am strategizing every move I make. And what we did is we spoke. I am the next superstar. I am, and notice what Toya said. I said I ain't trying to be like Tyler Perry. I ain't gonna never have. I probably never. I ain't gonna say never have Tyler Perry money. But I found someone that I considered had done something that was unheard of, and said I can do that if he did that.
That part.
And I did it my way.
That part.
I don't have a Hollywood studio. I don't have an Atlanta studio, but I do have a Rod, what I call a studio, and a network that I call a network. And that he part. Is the next superstar. I dropped the mic on that one as far as me. Now, you got anything on that one, Slim? Because I'm gonna move right along, man.
Most definitely. Like y'all know this phrase go, you know what I'm saying? Your network is how your net worth is how your network. And so, you have to go ahead and put that forth. And it's funny, mentioning, Live Me, because today, July 16th, actually marks 10 years since I first started using that app. Live Me is a broadcasting app that, you could go live on, basically like how people are doing TikTok now, and even here on YouTube, the shorts. Live Me was the predecessor, was one of the first broadcasting apps that came out that people could start going live on, receive gifts and all that type of stuff. And so 10 years ago today, July 16th, 2016 was when I started using the Live Me app. And I was on there for a good little minute, up until the early part of 2017. And I moved over to some other broadcasting apps such as Bigo Live, et cetera, before I finally found my niche, found my best move being on this website that I had been frequently on since 2005, which is YouTube. And right. So once I became consistent on YouTube, starting with my art video series GOAT1408 in 2018, it was on and popping from there. Right now we currently have 229 episodes of that series right there. We just dropped 229 on the 14th, which was 2 days ago. And so when it comes to being a superstar, you know what I'm saying? You got to believe that whatever it is that you want to be, you got to believe that. You have to assume that you are already that. Like I tell people all the time, I am transfinancial. I identify as a billionaire. You feel me? I identify as a billionaire already. I ain't got it in my account yet, but you know what I'm saying? Hey, good night, the Nichols 13. Thank y'all so much for coming through, supporting Rod, supporting me. And you know what I'm saying? We'll be seeing y'all, most definitely be seeing y'all out here in these YouTube streets. And so, you have to believe it. You have to believe that you can achieve it. You know what I'm saying? And that is that greatness in your life.
Oh, I said it all the time, Slim. I forgot who told me that. I didn't make it up. If you believe, you can achieve. I said, and y'all, we didn't talk about this stuff, but this is how you have two brothers' minds. I corrected a young man yesterday. He said he did 5 years in the military. I know what he was doing because he knew I had retired. He said, man, I only did 5 years. I said, only did 5. My first 4 years in the military was my hardest. So if you did 5 years that a whole lot of people didn't and couldn't do.
Right.
So don't downplay stuff. But he told me why he did it, and it made sense because of what he's doing now. But we're gonna get ready to wrap this up shortly. I might have to, and I have no problem. I may have to bring Slim back because it's a whole lot of stuff. Now I do want to talk about what is Jelly Bean Dream. What is that, man? Y'all, right here. I'm gonna show y'all. Is he and now if I ain't mistaken, is that a trademark behind it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Jelly Bean Dream. Now it's funny because we had early conversations for those who was here earlier in the broadcast, in the live stream. We had conversations about dreams. And so Jelly Bean Dream is a testament to how some dreams can be true. This young lady, Jelly Bean Turner, she is a millennial woman from the ATL, almost practically like me, except not a dude. She's born in ATL, Decatur raised, and she has the ability to dreamscape. Now, what that ability entails is that when she's asleep here on Earth, she is elsewhere in other dimensions, other galaxies, fully awake, fully aware, and having adventures, elsewhere in these dimensions and galaxies, and they're all real. They aren't dreams. It is actually happening. And so she has these adventures, and wakes up and she's back here on Earth, living in regular life in Decatur, but she's going on these galactic adventures in her dreams that are actually happening. And
so is this a character or a real person?
No, this is a character. This is my character.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think okay.
Yeah. And the name of the series is Jelly Bean Dream. This is the first
let me make
issue
you
right
big,
here.
man. Hold on, let me make you big here. Let me make you big.
Yeah, this is the first issue right here that was published back in 2023. Jelly Bean Dream issue number 1, written by myself, the creator, and drawn by my bro Johnny Quest Gaming, who is the creator of the series The Force. You can get the physical copies of these on our website, the UGI Studios Indie Planet site, or you can get digital copies sent to your email for only $7 via Cash App. You got Jelly Bean Dream issue number 1 right here. You also have the first published appearance of Jelly Bean Dream, which is the Jelly Bean Dream anthology, 80-page book showcasing different indie artists doing their take on Jelly. Also has a 6-page story written and drawn by myself up in there. The cover was done by awesome artist Anthony Piper, who's worked with Marvel Comics before. He's also the creator of the indie comic series True League. And then you have Dreamcatcher. Dreamcatcher is an awesome book, an awesome one-shot book showcasing characters from the series Body Jumpers, the web series Body Jumpers, created by Alex Fernandez, and Jelly Bean Dream, created by myself. The cover was drawn by Johnny Quest Gaming. It was inked and colored by myself. I did the writing of the book as well as the interior art as well. And it's an awesome tale showcasing the main characters of the series, Jelly Bean Turner from Jelly Bean Dream, and Agent Shiara from Body Jumpers, which, once again, like I said, y'all, Body Jumpers was a web series. So if you ever want to check out those episodes, they are on Sparks TV if you ever check them out. I do believe, on in the videos that I spoke of Dreamcatcher, I do believe I have the link for Sparks TV, or you can just look it up on the internet. Just look up Body Jumpers, Alex Fernandez, and then you'll be able to find the episodes on Sparks TV. They used to be on YouTube, but he took those early episodes down and has them on that website now. And so so those are the 3 books that are currently out from the Jelly Bean Dream series. And hey, I appreciate that, Dolores. She loved everyone. She got shout outs to Dolores from Decatur. Hey, you did. Most definitely. UGI Studios. Thank you, Dolores. Thank you so much.
And I got that right? Jelly Bean Dream.
Yes, sir. Jelly Bean Dream.
See, I didn't even know all that, man. That's why I said Is this a real person or this might,
I mean, there have been some instances where you can see her in her quote unquote real form, because like thanks to artificial intelligence, and I love to say artificial intelligence because it ain't real intelligence. Real intelligence is right here, y'all. Remember, real intelligence is right here. But thanks to artificial intelligence, aka AI, I have been able to bring my character to quote unquote life. So you can see her in some amazing short videos that have been created. If you see the Jelly Bean Dream Revolution, the little short video that I did. Oh, look, the Lord said, you forgot Pookie. Well, of course, we got to bring up some Pookie, getting some Pookie, which is my adult series that you can get those books on Amazon. Getting some Pookie, that is the story about a young man meets young woman in the late 90s, in 1996 ATL. So you can get that book on Amazon.com, along with its 2 sequel series, parts 1 and part 2 of Hotter Than Fire, Wetter Than Water.
So D, when you say book, they're comic books or books?
No. These are books with no drawings in it, so you can just read these things.
So let me make sure I got this, man. Y'all, it is a lot of talent on YouTube, and a lot of, I ain't gonna call them stories because it's real, but so we got a guy. I got to go back for the people that just came in that went through the pandemic, found out he had type 2 diabetes, got hit by a dump truck, and he got a comic book. He's been on YouTube 2,000. How many, Slim?
2,326 days.
2,326 days. Something happened, so he's working on his watch hours right now, and then he got all this stuff going on, man. And I could
get some Pookie.
Hold on, let me get Pookie over here by himself. Let's see this here, man.
Yeah, let's get some Pookie the remix.
Woo, boy, you out the chain, man. So you just, when you said, because sometimes we'll say, hey, I'm gonna be the next superstar, and we expect stuff to fall out the air. But when we make these affirmations or these manifestations, I'm gonna be the next superstar, I'm gonna be the Tyler Perry of YouTube. You went out and got it. And creative. Somebody said earlier, I want to say it may have been Dolores but they said, the dude has a creative mind. Yeah, they said you have a creative mind. And so with that, man, I got to ask you, what are your thoughts on today's youth? Now they got all this technology around, but what's your thoughts? I mean, whatever Slim is thinking, I don't want the populace, but what are your thoughts on today's youth?
All right. I definitely got a good answer for you there. Oh, and before I forget, I also got a coloring book out too, y'all, for adult coloring book. For those that like the color, I got one of those out too for you. But yeah, for the youth, I'm gonna tell you just like this, straight up. We gotta make sure that they don't get lost. Simple as that. We gotta make sure that they still know how to think. Because with these things right here, if you don't have your real intelligence, the artificial intelligence will consume you, and that's all that's going to be in you, all between your ears is just artificial intelligence. It's just going to be whatever it tells you is popular, whatever it tells you is cool to do, this, that, and the third. Like, oh, they start doing trends because of a video they saw on this, that, and the third, not getting the warnings of don't try this at home, even though most of the stuff that they do on the videos are at home. And kids today, they have to, it starts at home. It starts at home with the parents. They have to make sure that their kids are not susceptible to anything. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, as I love to say. Reference from a classic movie, Beverly Hills Cop, which, of course, your boy was too young to be watching it back in the day, but guess what? I still watched it though. But the thing is, back in those days, we were brought up to be smarter. We were brought up to understand better, to know that, hey, what you see on TV is not real, as far as shows that you were watching, cartoons or action shows and this, that, and the third. But to understand the what the problems entail when it comes to out there in the real world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am blessed blessed that I wasn't brought up in a world that wasn't you know, as far as like what we as melanated people got to deal with, because I didn't have to be subjected to those, you know what I'm saying, to the savage ways of the oppressors. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom and dad's generation was. You know what I'm saying? So they brought me up with love and awareness. You know what I'm saying? I had Black history books at the house. So if we ain't learning in school, I had at the house to read. That's why Nat Turner was my childhood hero growing up. But when I found out about the institution of slavery and what Nat Turner did, I was like, good. Like that. Hey, that was an American hero right there to me. You know what I'm saying? And of course, if you know what they did in that Turner, then it just goes to show how savage those oppressors really were. But anyway.
Yeah, man. I got a question here, and Sandra, she asked me to read this, and I had it starred. That's why it was so easy to find it.
Oh.
Johnny Quest, I picked up in my mind the 11-year-old boy who traveled the world. Is your friend's gaming thing connected to that in any way? The Johnny Quest that you so some it was a 11-year-old guy that traveled the world. Is your
Yeah,
friend?
she's talking about the cartoon series Johnny Quest from back in the 60s and 70s. Yeah, so yeah, he did name himself after Johnny Quest. The cartoon character name spelled Jonny. He spelled his name Johnnny. But yeah, he got his name from the famous cartoon character Johnny Quest from the Hanna-Barbera, and he is of course Johnny Quest Gaming, if that's what you are thinking. Well, she said that was his gaming thing, but yeah, his name Johnny Quest Gaming. He did derive his name from the cartoon character Johnny Quest. Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Sandra, for re-asking that because I had it started and I probably would have forgotten. And that's when she asked the question. So quick, I'm gonna do like a speed. I ain't gonna say speed. Answer it as quick as and slow as you need to.
My sister was gonna be named Grace if she had turned out to be a boy. That's how much my mom actually like. My mom liked Johnny Quest growing up, and my sister, if she had been a boy, her name was gonna be Race, which was Johnny Quest's bodyguard's name.
Wow, it's amazing how people back then had reasons for names, But I'm just tripping out. They couldn't get their middle names because I think half my family, my aunts, and on both sides got a May in their name. Like Lily, I can't say their name. Like
Lily Mae, Sally Mae.
yeah,
Ooh,
I'm just
we
gonna
don't
make
like
up.
Sally Mae around here.
Yeah, Sally Mae, Millie Mae, Jilly Mae. Everybody was a May. I'm about to get in trouble. I'm about to name one of my aunts' name for real, man. So, but hey, watch it anyway. I don't know why I worried. Then watch, this will be the one that Rob, we decided to tune in you on that YouTube thing.
He just named Maybelline. He just shouted out Maybelline. You famous now, girl.
So, what's one thing in your life that you have yet to accomplish that you want to accomplish?
Definitely, I'm gonna say being a billionaire and meeting Janet Jackson. Those would be the top ones that I can think of. But the one thing I definitely want to accomplish as well is creating more, just creating more. Like, when you love to create, there really isn't any limit on what you like to create. Like for instance, this book also just came out this year as well, which had been years in the making. Cherry Shinobi. That my friend wrote, and that my friend creating and wrote, and I was blessed to be a part of that project right there. I'm doing the artwork for that comic book, and so just creating more. Like if I could create as much as my mind could see, like if I could be as fast as what I see in my mind, man, I would have had millions of books out by now. And so that's the only thing that me, I feel that I falter at, is not being able to create faster. But also I've learned, as I've gotten older, that everything has divine timing. So I don't expect for I'm not in the same league as the big two comic book companies, or the big three, I should say, Marvel, DC, and Image, because they have millions of millions of dollars behind them. They are corporations basically. And so and not anime bullet. Shout out to
Yeah,
Teen Time.
that show we should talk about. Hey, that's my co-host, man. That's who I was talking about earlier. That I
Just
told.
asking for a free.
Yeah, and I can't tell the story of how proud I am about her because I promised I would no more. So I can't tell the story how she passed me, she passed me. I used to say, hey, you gotta pay attention, little grasshopper, and now I'm the little grasshopper. She passed me, Slim, in a matter of months. And shout out to this young lady right here, man. That's all I'm gonna say because I'm gonna get in trouble for this. Shout out to Just Asking for a Friend. She keep me in line, man. She really do.
Hey, she been on it. Shout outs to her. Shout outs to her. Like
She
Dolores
just hit
said.
her 1 year mark, Slim. I've been doing this since 2021. She just hit her 1 year mark. And I'm cruising in an old school Cadillac. She come flying by me in a Lamborghini, man.
Hey, it be like that sometimes. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I expected, my goal in 2021, I thought I was gonna be at 10K subscribers and 10 million views. I was trying to do that by the 10-year anniversary of my channel, which was in 2021. That didn't happen, but it's funny because that actually happened for a friend of mine, a fellow content creator at the time. That actually happened for her in the same time frame that I wanted to happen for me. So it was in my head, it was in my spirit, and it happened for somebody I knew. So I was happy about that. So that was cool. I was like, cool, I see it happen for somebody that I knew. So I know it's possible. I know it can. It's right there. It's right there. You feel me? And shout out to the Lord. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. I would
That was
definitely
my
love.
next question, Slim. Before you even start trying to answer, before I ask, is there? I can't even say a Miss Slim Jim. That don't even
It
sound
ain't
like
yet.
it.
It
Is
ain't
that,
yet. It
I mean,
ain't
is
yet.
it one? Is that something that you like married kids, or I mean, is that
Yeah,
something?
I want that. I do want that. I do want that. I just ain't got it right now. So that is definitely something I want because I want something that my parents had, and even better than my parents had. I mean, I know everything ain't all fairy tale and rainbows, but you know what I'm saying. I want that wife. I want them children. You know what I'm saying, and it's so funny when it comes to time, especially with this decade in itself, because like at the beginning of this decade, you know what I'm saying, everything seemed like it was gonna be and next thing you know, what the word, you know what I'm saying? It's like we looking over our shoulders waiting for the alarm to go off, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and it's like, and that's where you got to pace yourself. That's where you got to take the time. As a matter of fact, everybody who up in here right now, I want y'all to do this with me because I when it comes to my spirit, I love to say this. I love to do this. I want everybody to take this little time right here to just breathe real quick. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth.
Oh, he froze again. See. That what happened. Now, what I wanted to say, and I'm gonna take Slim down until he come back, so I don't have him looking crazy. Anybody just came in, he just doing some breathing exercise. Don't come in and say, hey, what they got going on over here? So, to anybody just coming in, I am your boy Rod, the host, the founder of Points Blank Experience, and the host of the Experience with Rod. And yeah, they got you again, bro. He said that they get me again. Yeah, man. Oh, see, look at that. Hey, hold up, man. It jumped on me. Educated Natural said we need you married too, Dolores. And see, tonight, this is a long time. I've known Slim Jim Longfoot virtually for about 5 years. And I reached out to him on Instagram and said, hey, man, I'd love to have you on the channel. And here we are tonight. And this is the first interview that I used to do that is morphing into the conversations. I mean, I've had a lot of people on the channel, and here's my co-host, this young lady right here, Educated Natural. She's been a guest on here. So, and everybody that I bring on here, we try to have positive vibes. I want people to learn. I want people to speak positivity because we don't even have to say a word. We can all keep our mouths closed right now. There's so much negativity around us, and Slim's back joining us now. it's so much negativity around us that we not only have to speak positivity into our children, our spouses, our partners, some of our friends, some of our other family members. We really have to speak positivity into our young people. If your kids grown, you might have some grandkids. If your nieces, nephews, cousins, somebody else's kids. I stopped in the grocery store the other day. It was a young lady trying to sell me some Spectrum or something. I can't, but I told her I couldn't get it. But I went into a coaching, a mentorship role, and I don't know this young lady's name. Didn't want to know it. Still don't know it. And never will know it. But we got to start taking the time to say, hey, man, we want people to start for the just asking for a friend who just did something for a homeless man, for the educated natural that's out there teaching people how to be positive. Man, more than that, y'all got to go check her channel out. Sandra James is out here telling people her journey with things she's been through. And that's why I like to have this channel. But not a Slim back, and I had to do that commercial that was not scheduled. We're going to get back to this. All right. Now, I'm going to ask you this here, man. We said, did you even finish about if it's something you wanted to accomplish, but you haven't yet? That might have been when you froze.
Oh, no. I did finish, and then okay. We spoke on the kids and the wife, and that was the final thing that I said I wanted to accomplish. And then
they triggered that somebody said 60 kids, bro. Right here.
Yeah, the Lord is
right. Yeah, the Lord mentioned 60, and then just asking said, then Ted gonna say, hey, Dolores, while you over there talking, you need to get married too. And then Toya gonna say, yup. So man, you better not leave no more, Slim. You get everybody in trouble up here. You leave again, they'll have me thrown up here. And man, I like that right there.
That part. Y'all, say, I rebuke you. I heard that. But exactly, most definitely, Toy, most definitely. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why, so for those like I just said before I got cut off by the YouTube, or whoever, Wi-Fi, whatever, take time. Don't forget to take time to breathe, y'all. Don't forget to take time to breathe. That's why I was doing that breathing, and then take, because a lot of people forget to do just that, even though, we naturally breathing, but you just got to take that time to breathe and alleviate all the pressure that may have built up throughout that day, alleviate all the pressure that may have built up throughout your life. You know what I'm saying? You take that time to just breathe and then and settle back into yourself, reconnect with those finer energies, reconnect with the Most High, because that might be the moment where he speaks to you. He gives you messages to, push you forth into the rest of that day or the rest of your week or month or even your life. You know what I'm saying? That those just little moments right there of being one with yourself, and you breathing in the good stuff, you exhaling the bad stuff. You know what I'm saying? Pushing all of that up out of you. Letting it release. You know what I'm saying? Waiting to Exhale just wasn't a catchy title for a book or a movie. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have to wait to exhale. You know what I'm saying? You exhale when you're ready to exhale. You know what I'm saying? If you hang on to bad stuff, if you keeping it in you, it's gonna stay on you. So you gotta let it go. Nobody can control on what you keep. Exactly. Breathe with intention. Most definitely, Sandra. Most definitely.
She just did a show, Slim. Sandra just did a live, and I was there. Is your plate too full? And I admit it, my plate is full, ladies and gentlemen. I have 3 YouTube channels that I manage, that I own, run, whatever we want to call it, and a new music channel. So that's 4 channels. And the only reason I'm able to manage all this is because I'm doing something that I enjoy.
Exactly.
If I did not enjoy this and I was doing all this stuff for someone else because I had to do that, we need to find what our passions are. It's too many resources out there today that we can read, we can Google. If we ain't got a computer, I don't even know if they still have libraries, but they got internet cafes. It took me years. It took me probably 53, 54 years, probably 55, and I'm 56 to find my purpose. And my purpose was to take the gifts that God has given me and give it back to people. I don't have to give them money, but if I can show them how to make money, I'm giving back. And if I could talk and have people on here like Slim Jim and you know, y'all might have thought I was joking, but this man is a walking miracle. Somebody said Pusha P was a walking miracle. So is Slim. And I'm the last thing I'm gonna say, Slim, and I got probably two more questions for you, and then I'll do my closing comments. Every day is precious, y'all. Every single day.
Every day.
Every day is precious. You know, when I was ended up in the hospital 28 days, I didn't have a change of clothes. I didn't have a phone charger because I just went to the ER and thought I was gonna be there about 5 hours, and 5 hours turned into however many 28 days.
28 days.
That's crazy, man. So we have to cherish. And I'm gonna read what Toya said. Breathing is how we get through everything, especially the hardest moments of our lives. Exercising, childbirth, stress, everything. Remember, God gave you the breath of life. Just breathe. And Slim, one of the things I want to ask, because I can't wait to hear your answer, and I'm gonna tell you my answer to the same question. Do you have any regrets in life?
Whoo. I can't never lie about that. I sure do. I definitely do. And when it comes to those things that I regret, and then I think about, but once again, those type of things would drive you crazy because none of us got a time machine. If we had a time machine, there won't be no regrets in our life because we would go back and, fix those things, get those extra moments with loved ones that we don't have that we can't have anymore, or do something completely different that would have changed the outcome, of something this, that, and the third, or alleviate or eliminate somebody a little bit earlier, you know what I'm saying? Shout outs to what I ain't gonna say, but the person responsible for, doing my needs like that. But at the end of the day, those regrets that you have, all you can do is think about them, breathing in, breathe it out, and move on. And of course, it's gonna come back. They're gonna come back. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't think about them no more, you might be like, oh man, I remember shoulda, woulda, coulda, or wish I had did this. And then you think about where you are right now and think about those moments that led to where you are right now. And if you that regret, that regret, whatever, however many regrets you may have, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, you know what I'm saying? How would that benefit your life right now? It may have benefited for the better, or it might have been worse. It might have started out as something that, you wish you could have did, but the outcome could have been worse than where you are right now. And then you'd be like, dang, you know what I'm saying? So I have regrets, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? All I can do is continue to move forward. And keep it pushing because, you know what I'm saying? We can't walk backwards. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we could try, but you can't moonwalk like Mike. You know what I'm saying? You can't moonwalk like Mike. And
I tell everybody, man, we are not VCR tapes and 8-tracks and cassettes. We can't rewind time. And that I like how you put that. I mean, I got more than one regret, so I ain't gonna bore everybody, and we don't have the time. But my main regret, and what I'm about to say, could change somebody's life in here. It could change or help someone that's watching the replay. If I could, I would have listened to my mother more when she was alive. My life would have been so much easier, and I wish I would have loved on her more. So if your parent is still here, or your child is still here, or whatever family is still here, love on them while you can, because life is not a cassette tape. It's not a 8-track tape. It's not a VCR tape. It just keep going forward. So time stands still for no one. It stands still for no one. And you're looking at two people right now, Slim and Rod, that some people would say ain't supposed to be here right now. I'm talking on Earth. I ain't talking in this live stream. I'm talking on the planet, you know.
Right.
So we're not up here just two content creators just trying to do a live stream and have a show. We're telling you what we know. And that's real talk. So Slim, man, I think I got one more good question. And that well, two, because it's gonna be one more, and then this gonna be the last question before the last question. Last question, real short. It's easy.
Penultimate question, y'all.
And this is the last question before my itty bitty question. What would the Slim of today tell the Slim of yesteryear?
The Slim of today. What will I? Hey, Brooklyn Beauty TV, I see you. What would the Slim of today tell the Slim of yesterday?
Or yesteryear, the younger Slim. What was the Slim?
The yesteryear.
Yeah, not yesterday, y'all. I don't care about yesterday.
So how far back we going? How far back we going?
As far as you want to go back, you can go back to when you was 2, 1.
Okay.
Thought of, I don't care.
Let's see. What I would tell the Slim of yesteryear is definitely love more. Definitely draw more. You know what I'm saying? Don't think that what you were doing is for nothing, because there were some years where I wasn't drawing. You know what I'm saying?
That's Slim's in a storm over there, y'all. So I'm gonna take it down, and I can't wait to hear the rest of this answer. And I want to thank everybody that's bearing with the technical difficulties. If you have, this is the time. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, I'm gonna stop asking people to subscribe at the beginning, because I feel like we haven't earned your subscription when we first start. I need to earn people that haven't subscribed. So I'm gonna ask toward the end. If you've gotten anything out of this live stream and you're not subscribed, please do so. We do interviews on this channel, financial things. I may cross it with my other channel, Investment Rod, and broadcast it over here. Now, yeah, you pause out again, dog. Is he back? No, he ain't back. Yeah, you pause out again, man. He probably over there. Yeah, he probably over there just talking. He probably told the whole story. We're going to tell it again. But we've Points Blank Network. I made an executive decision where the interviews, the investment, and PBT, not so much the music, because I have it over there on Facebook, but all lives that I do will be broadcasted on Facebook. So if you have family members that can't watch Rod at any channel that I have, which is, let me pull it up, Points Blank Travel, Points Blank Experience, Investing with Rod. So the one at the left with the globe, Points Blank Travel, the one with the bull, Investing with Rod, and the one with the line on the left, that's where we are now, Points Blank Experience. If they can't watch these channels when I go live on YouTube, or they say they don't like YouTube, I'm a Facebook person, I'm gonna put it in the comments. It's Rod-Points Blank. So as y'all can see, man, I am very serious about getting information out. Now, if I'm having a little party, speaking of a party, tomorrow night, anybody that's in here, tomorrow night, 7:35 p.m. Central Standard Time, that's when I plan on doing it. If you are subscribed, make sure your notifications are set to all. I am going to do the 1K monetization roast. It's not going to be a celebration. Y'all will get the chance to roast me if you know how to imitate me, impersonate me, whatever you want to do. And I'm going to be the best sport ever. I'm going to call out one person that's very good at this. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We'll be here, bro. So he's restarting his laptop. There's one person that can impersonate me pretty good, and that's her right there. Just asking for a friend. Oh, man. I can't wait to see what she got in store, because she now, not necessarily the voice somewhat, but the things I say that y'all have heard me say or that I've said to her, I'm sure she's going to surprise me. But we hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel. Is there a Rod without YouTube? Yes, there is. Is there a Points Blank Experience, Points Blank Travel, Investing with Rod, Soulful Southern Sounds, my music channel? Is it any of that without the viewers, the subscribers, the channel members? The answer is no. I could be here right now by myself. I remember the days when I had 50 to 100 people in a live stream. Those were different days. And that was something I was going to talk to Slim about. But now we have smaller crowds because there's more content creators out here, and we have to always, and that's life. We have to pivot, ladies and gentlemen. Like a lot of people quit YouTube because they say it's oversaturated. A lot of people quit YouTube because they ran out of ideas, and it's no different than life. We have to keep reinventing ourselves. We have to keep reinventing opportunities. If you have one channel, there's if I tell you one of the biggest problems I faced, and I know just asking for a friend is probably going to agree with me. If you have one channel and you think you're stuck or you're stuck in life, you may want to open your ears and listen. That's one of the things. I was stubborn. I knew I had all the answers as a content creator. I had one person that I would listen to somewhat, and then Keisha, just asking for a friend, started giving me ideas. I listened to her somewhat, not really, and him not really. And next thing I know, I'm declining. But so y'all, if we're out there, sometimes don't totally just say, I'm not doing it, it doesn't make sense. You may say that, but then still think about it, reevaluate it, because you'd be surprised. I would not be where I am today had I not listened to some of the people that I've listened to in my life. So tomorrow night, 7:35, I just made up my mind. I'm going to go ahead and do it tomorrow night. I don't know if I got it on here to show y'all that I'm not, well, no, I probably shut this whole live down if I try to pull it up. Oh, it might be down here. Let me see. Did I pull it up here? Yeah, there it is right there. Okay, Untitled Design. To show y'all I'm not kidding. Don't y'all judge me, because I'm going to pull this up. If it don't mess up nothing. I'm just giving Slim a chance to reboot his stuff. Right here. Here's the thumbnail that I'll be using. It's already not posted. It's already ready. But there's the thumbnail. 1K subscribe monetization roast. And I don't know why. I didn't ask it to make me look like I'm about to get mad at somebody that's roasting me. But I might have to change that. So tomorrow night, subscribe. Make sure your notification bells are on. I'm sure it's going to be a good time. I got to call Shelton from Your Favorite Couple. This dude can really imitate me. And Anwar from Meet and I, he's probably the best. He imitated me a couple of times during the Meet and I Awards. So I'm going to give Slim a few more minutes. If anybody have any questions for me, man, now's a good time to ask. I know I'm not interviewing me, but okay, here it is. Here he come right here. He typed it in there. Oh, yeah, he coming. There you go. Okay, here you go. So Slim, here you go, Cheryl Bubbles. This here is another young lady that I listened to, and I talked to her a couple of times, and what she's got right here, know your brand or get one.
That part.
Y'all, I'm gonna tell you, she didn't even know I had this still in here, and I'm gonna show you this here, because this is my commercial, and it's not sponsored. She ain't paying. I'm just doing it out the kind of my heart. That's whose name is on the screen. Cheryl's Bubbles and Things right there. This is what we do over here, man. We try to elevate over here. Cheryl, if just asking for a friend, I usually don't ask you, but I can do it. If we can put Miss Cheryl's website in there, but y'all, this is what we're doing. So she's not just somebody just saying this here because it sounds cool to say. That's somebody right here, and I'm going back. I got to talk fast because the internet people are messing with my man Slim.
For real though.
I don't care, man. I don't care. I care, but we're gonna get through this. So here, you would tell your younger self to draw more, love more. Okay, not thinking that my time working on all was worthless and wasting time. My therapist told me about a month ago. I said, man, I just feel like when I wasn't on YouTube, I wasted time. And she said, did you learn something when you were not there? I said, yeah, I did. She said, well, you didn't waste any time. You learned something.
That part.
I said, oh, man, okay, I guess I better go back and reevaluate my whole life, because I thought I had wasted a lot of time, but I learned a lot from mistakes I made. So let me see what else we got in here. I made an executive decision. Stop asking for likes. There we go. People know what they like. Yeah, Brooklyn Beauty said it best. Stop asking for likes, man, and just now sometimes we have to mention it, because if they like me, I be forgetting to hit the like button. I'm serious, y'all. And Sometimes I go to channels because I got so many. I go to from a different channel. I say, oh, I'm not even subscribing here, so I have to subscribe. So sometimes we have to mention it, but I shouldn't have to. But y'all, if you think it for Slim Jim Longfoot, he left again, or Rod, you don't have to pay to subscribe to the channel. It's free. When we hear the word subscription, naturally we think of subscribing to a magazine, subscribing to a one of them TV apps, a Netflix, a Hulu, and that's not the case. So just as I said, right, Miss Cheryl, let me read these here. Thank you, Rob, for always having great conversation, being so hospitable. Thank you. I just treat people the way I want to be treated. Sandra, that is a simple motto. Thank you, Keisha. Thank you. Man, I had the best co-host, the best moderator, and I may get out of I doubt it. I may get out of talking about how successful her channel has been, but I'm proud of her, man. I can't hide it. I tried to and it didn't work. So shout out to Keisha, just asking for a friend whose name is on the channel. And we got Slim back. So shout out to Keisha, just asking. That's right. I got you, bro. I got you. There you go.
Yeah, we back. We back. Yeah.
You back in the dark though.
No.
That's how I can hear your voice, man. It's gonna be like there's an avatar up there, but you ain't really there. But
wait, you don't see me?
No, I don't see you, dog.
What in the world is?
I don't know, but that's how I can hear you. Sometimes we don't need to see. No, we can hear. There you go. I see that. I see that. It's your camera, so I see your avatar. So, Cheryl Bowman, thank you, Keisha, for dropping it. Thank you, no problem. Yeah, you froze again. Exactly, Brooklyn. I never do. Yeah. That's one thing I ain't listened to Keisha on there. She said, Rod, don't ask them for no likes and subscribers. They'll do it organically. I said, no, man, I gotta ask, but she really don't. Hey, thank you, Tara. I see you new. Oh, I used to have a thing here with a soundbite, but I gotta say thank you for becoming a new channel member. Tara has been rocking with me for years, and then I don't blame her because I kind of slowed down on Points Blank travel because I felt like instead of teaching people how to travel for free and all that, they weren't worried about traveling. People needed to make money, so I shifted to investing with Rod. Then we needed to talk about some of the tough subjects of life, and that's why I ramped up things on Points Blank Experience. All right, yes, you did. Hey, no problem. We're going to be hopping out too, and Cheryl became a new channel member. Thank you. All right, thank y'all, man. I'm gonna give Slim. I'm gonna put me back up here, and what I'll do, even if push come to shove, when I see him, or we may just have yeah, our mods can put it in the chat. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like I hate asking the moderators to do something. Some shucks. I hate asking my moderators to do something because they're here to help. Hey, Slim, can you say something? That's all right. Hey, there you go.
Oh, can you see me? All right, yeah.
Man, this stressing you out over there. Don't let this stress you out, man.
Hey. That's why I breathe, right? That's why I breathe, because
now my last question, Slim, then I want you to just give your closing remarks. Has this been an experience?
This has definitely been an experience. It has been a wonderful experience rocking with you up here, Rod, and enjoying your peoples and enjoying the time that we had a chance to wrap it up, chop it up. Because because it's been a while since I had a chance to catch you on your live streams, and shout out to Angie Pooh when you and Angie was chopping it up and doing the co-hosting, and we bumping each other in these YouTube streets on other channels. So it's like, yeah. And so when you hit me up and you said, hey man, I want to have you on my show, I was like, for sure, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, I'm with it. You just let me know when you ready to do it, and I'm with it. And hey, I'm so glad that we had this experience, the first of many experiences to rock with, Points Blank Experience. And I hope everybody enjoyed this live stream. And if you enjoyed the vibes and rocking with, your boy, I know I'm crazy. I will be going live right after this experience right here on my channel. So y'all feel free if y'all want to slide through and rock with me. I might even do some artwork. And also, Rod, I'm also saying to you right now, if you want to be a subject, if you want to be on GOAT1408 TV, Send me a video of you saying, you know what I'm saying, however you want to say, hey, it's Brian from Points Blank, and you are rocking, I mean, you are watching GOAT1408 TV, and you will be drawn on the episode of GOAT1408 TV. So let me know. All you gotta do is send a video to me. Either send it to my email, and then boom, you know what I'm saying, you be on the episode.
Man, y'all, that's how you look out for one another. I'm not gonna say network. I'm not gonna hook up, but that's how we look out. We don't. I don't want to hook up, but when people look out for me, man, it just I didn't expect it. I enjoy what I do, and I like to bring people on here that I know is going to bring value, not just to my channel, but to our viewers, what our you call them the citizens of GOAT Nation, and you know. I said not long ago, I don't want no followers because I ain't the big man upstairs, so I don't need that.
That's the only one who got followers right there. Jesus, hey.
And when I say subscribers, they think they got to pay for it.
Exactly.
I ain't important.
I ain't got no money for you, dog.
Yeah.
No, it's free, man. It's free.
It's crazy, but Cheryl said that's awesome. So, hey, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to get us out of here. Before I do, I'm going to say my closing remarks. As usual, tonight I don't feel like tonight we have witnessed greatness. Greatness in the form of a man that possibly, I'm not going to say not supposed to be here because he's here, and that's what God's meant for him to be, is here. And thank you so much, Keisha. Thank you so much. And it is a pleasure and an honor to continue. Slim, he set the trend once again. It's an honor to be able to be on the screen with someone I've known so long. Haven't been on his channel. He hasn't been on mine. We bump into each other in these YouTube streets, and I was able to reach out to him. And I'm always nervous when I do that because someone could say, no, man, I haven't chopped it up with you in years or in months, or I haven't seen you on my channel. But I've only had a couple of people that either said, wait, or no, not right now, or whatever the case. But thank you, Slim, for coming on Points Blank Experience. I'm going to get ready to close us out, man. Somebody out there right now is thinking that they can't. And it's probably because you may not think you had a proper support, or you may not have a proper support. But sometimes, man, I know what it's like, because when I was in the hospital 28 days by choice, I limited my communications with my family, my friends, because I felt like I had got into a situation where I needed to get out of me and God. So I was fine. I was having to push myself, and sometimes we have to push ourselves to be the best we can be. And then we have a support system, and sometimes we're afraid to use it because we're ashamed or we don't want to be judged. Don't worry about that. Somebody out there is going to listen to you. And when they don't, until they do, please do me a favor. I'm going to speak on behalf of Slim. Just give yourself a little push, man. Just give yourself a little push. I guarantee you, somebody's going to get there. With that being said, I hope you have a blessed and prosperous evening.
When nobody claps, you know
and
they say.
Always
Keep going, it's fine. I've been through fire, still got my name in tight. Still got my faith in my chest. Still got my feet on the road. When the room stays cold, I don't fold, I don't fall, I just hold my course. Oh, did I forget to mention there is no competition? Why are you tripping? Put the hate on the shelf, I ain't tripping on you. I'm only competing with myself. When nobody claps, I keep on shining. When nobody claps, I keep on climbing. Yeah. Go ahead and clap, I don't need permission. When nobody claps, I'm still on my mission.
I had to pause real quick. Thanks again to Tara and Miss Cheryl for becoming channel members. The song you're listening to, you're not going to find it out on YouTube. This is like a remix that I did to play it on this channel. Written by Rod, produced by Rod, but shared and made for everybody out there. When nobody claps, sometimes we have to clap for ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Good night, much love, y'all.
I operate with precision, making mind-blowing decisions. Every scar got a story, every loss made me wiser. I learned how to stand tall with a heavy sky above me. I learned how to smile through it when nobody was watching. Now my hands stay lifted even when they don't sing back. Oh, did I forget to mention there is no competition? Why are you tripping? Put the hate on the shelf, I ain't tripping on you. I'm only competing with myself.